So I picked up this Yamaha Raptor 700. I do forget what year this thing is. I think it's a 2006. The dude listed it as a 2005. But 10th digit from the left, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 is a 6. So 2006. You can see all the residue right here. Either from the chain or it's leaking a lot of, or it's seeping some oil. But you see it's got new gaskets around the cover on this side where the stator is at. I think the dude was telling me they put a stator on it. And then the cylinder looks newish. Looks like they got a ground cable here. I don't think that's stock. You see the bolt hole bracket is broken. Probably had a case saver on it and busted that. But you can see how ugly it looks. The dude posted this thing up for like $3,000, I think it was. And I was saying there's no way I'm paying that much for this quad. You see it's missing plastics for the radiator. It's missing the gas tank cover. It's missing the ignition and the cover that sits here for the ignition. It's got a cover for the seat that's ripped up over the original seat cover. That's all the way down to the cushion. So both those covers are ruined. The plastics are super dirty and faded. It's scratched up. Looks like it has like black paint on it. So this is the ignition switch here. They just kind of wired in a switch for it. So you can see, got neutral and it's off. So the steering is a little loose. I think it's one of the tie rods. And it looks like it has like some plastic JB Weld for the coolant reservoir. Let's see, it's got a janky, cheap pink chain on it. I don't know why they went with pink, but maybe it was just a cheaper option. I don't know. You can see the rear tires are pretty much slicks. When I test drove it, that thing had no traction whatsoever. Just barely even getting into it, the back end would kind of want to slide out from under it. So they're completely pretty much flat. At least this side is. That one's not. But this thing's probably been ripping through the road. I believe it needs new brakes. Yeah. There's only one side of the brake pads. So it needs brake pads. I think I do have those. Not sure. The brake light cover is not all the way mounted on. It looks like it's missing a bolt on this side. And then the lens for the brake light is missing. It does still work, but it's missing. So we'll order up one of those. Stock exhaust. You can see it's all janked up and kind of rusted out on the tip there. It looks like he welded this here for the exhaust. But this thing is beat, man. No telling how many hours it has. The frame is all scratched up too. This thing has seen better days. Reverse switch is all broken for the mount. The handlebar grips are mismatched. It does run pretty decent though, for the way it looks. It runs pretty decent. I mean, on the bright side, it has brand new front tires. The dude said he was going to put rear tires, or at least throw in rear tires, because he said he ordered them, but he was saying that the order got canceled. So this is going to need some work. The headlights, it's missing one of the headlights, and then the trim around that headlight. So it looks pretty ugly. What else? This thing needs some work. Oh yeah, that's right. It's missing the whole filter on it. It's missing the filter and it's missing the cover. And then the intake tube is not even mounted to the box. So hopefully it didn't suck up any dirt, which I'm sure it probably did. But I do say he drove it pretty often, so I'm assuming he drove it with no air filter and the cover just completely missing. It's all there though. Battery's there. That's tight. It's missing the bolts. It's just all loose. So it did crank up and start whenever I was there and test drove it. We'll see if it starts today. So I don't want to run it too long. I don't want it to suck up anything, or at least more than it already has probably. But like you can see, there's no check engine light or anything. Starts up a little iffy. Maybe needs new gas. Cause I doubt this guy was driving it like he said he was. He said it never gave him any problems, but you know, you're going off a dude off Facebook Marketplace that you don't even know. So this thing is gonna need a lot of cleaning, which I'm probably gonna do first is power wash it up. You can see the wheels are painted black, which I will. Strip the paint off of them, make it chrome again. The coolant is all nasty and brown, but it's all the way filled up, so looks like it's not leaking or it doesn't need a head gasket. And there wasn't pressure in there for me starting it and running it. So I will do a flush for the coolant. That's pretty easy. I've done that before on a 700. So far, no oil leaks besides around where the chain's at. So I'm not sure if it's just chain oil slack, just like slinging on there. So the first thing is I'm gonna order parts. I do need to do an oil change on it. I forget if it was topped off or too full or what. Yeah, it's pretty low and really dark. So it needs an oil change, probably pretty bad. So we'll order up new rear tires. I'll order up the air filter. I believe I have another cover for the air box. I might not. I am gonna order a new chain. Sprockets look good. What else? I'm gonna order new handlebar grips. I'm gonna find out what the steering, why is it so loose. So I'm gonna order whatever it needs in the front steering suspension. I'll order up a new brake light. I'm gonna order up the seat cover, order up the cover for the gas tank, order up the ignition switch and the mounting plastic that goes here. I'm gonna order up the cover for the radiator. I'm gonna order up headlights and the trim for them. I'm gonna order up the mounting for the reverse switch. It's like a metal one, so that thing would not break. I've done that before too. What else? Yeah, do the coolant flush, and then freshen up these plastics. I'm not sure how it looks underneath all this dirt, but they're really scratched, so I'm gonna have to sand them down to where they're smooth again. And then this thing, I mean, by the time I'm done with this, it's gonna look pretty good. I've had another quad that was pretty ran down like this one was, and I brought it back to life. Like it looked pretty good, night and day. So I guess first thing I want to do is probably power wash it. I want to see what it looks like underneath the plastics. There's a few cracks, but it's not really that terrible. I'm missing a few bolts, but let's get this thing going. I want to power wash this thing and see what it looks like under all that dirt. But I picked this thing up for, so he posted it for like $3 grand. Talked him down over the phone because he was in Texas, so I was like 3 hours away from me. Ended up meeting him in the morning around like 7 in the morning, so I woke up pretty early at like 3 or 4 just to meet him before he went to school. He was a younger guy. He said he liked to flip quads and stuff too, but I don't know why he was selling this one so cheap. Maybe he just didn't want to do all the work because plastics and stuff do get pretty expensive and all the little things add up. But so I talked him down over the phone before I even got there. Probably like, I think it was $2 grand or 2,200. And he was like, I'm not going to go any lower than that because I was talking him down quite a bit. So I went over there, looked at it. I was like, man, there's no way I'm paying even $2 grand for it. I offered him $1,500 and he kind of like sat there and thought about it. And I was like, man, he's going to probably go even lower. And, or lower than what he wants. So he was like, no, I can't do that. And so I was like, all right, well, I'll do 1,800. He was like, we'll do 19. And then kind of offered him, I think it was 1,850 or something like that. So I got it for 1,850, no title, but I got a bill of sale and everything like that, and the vent's clean. So 1,850, put some parts on it, maybe like another 500, 600 bucks. We'll see. I have to tally it up. But yeah, the deals are out there, but you got to get to them first. So let's go ahead and get this thing power washed, see how it looks underneath. Yeah, underneath it is all faded like this. Scratched with paint on it, as you can see there. I did notice the lower roller is missing. No rubber roller at all. It's just the bearing and the bolt. So yeah, it's just faded. You can see there. It's got like white powder residue on it. So I guess what I can do now is probably scrape up the plastics, sand it down. I'm probably gonna use a razor blade because that's a whole lot quicker. Yeah, I'm using a razor blade. Just go back and forth with the blade, and it'll go back to like the fresh plastic. So I'm gonna do that. See how it looks after that. But plastics are really expensive, and I'm gonna try to see if we can save these. So you can see that there on the upper part of the plastics. It's starting to turn bright blue again. So this is gonna be tedious work, but I'm like Walmart, man. You gotta save money, live better anywhere I can. So once I'm done doing pretty much the whole thing, it'll probably take me all day. I'll show you the aftermath of when it's done. Plastics are all sanded. Pretty much went from like 400 grit all the way up to like 1300 grit or something like that. And then I went ahead and heat gunned it. So it looks pretty good now. It's not super shiny or anything, but the blue really came back. It's not faded anymore. You don't really see the stress marks. Like here and here, there's stress marks, but instead of being like a faded white, it's kind of more of a blue. So I could do the extra step and probably like polish it up to make it shiny, but I don't have a polisher and I don't have all the compounds to do that. So this is gonna work for now. So I do have quite a bit of parts that came in. I like tires, but tires is like gonna be the last thing I do, and as well as like taking the paint off the wheels. That's gonna be one of the last things I do. So as you can see, it does have the front new tires, like I said. What else? I got a new seat cover for it. I got a new brake light for it, and I'll tuck it back up to where it's not hanging down like that. And I believe I already have a set of rear brake pads because there is no pad left. There's only one side of the pad, which is the outer side, and the rear brakes don't work. So got that. Got a new chain. This chain, there's not really anything wrong with it, but I don't like the pink, so I'm going to take that off and put a new one. What else? I got new handlebar grips for it. I got a new cover for the gas tank. I got an ignition switch. I got the mount for the ignition switch. I got the radiator cover. But before I put that on, I do got to do a flush on the coolant because it's like an orange brownish. I kind of corroded, so I got to flush that out, put new fluid in there. What else did I get that came in? I got the reverse switch as well. The mount, because that is broken. Reinforces it with a metal one, so it would not break. I got new headlights. Well, I got the new left side headlight because the mount, I also got a new mount. But with this mount, it's cracked and broke, so you can't put a headlight there. So I got the new headlight, and I got the housings that go around the headlight, so around here, that make it look more slick and clean. So we got all that. I really wanted to just do the plastics first because that's like the most tedious and time consuming. It honestly took me like 2 or 3 days. Or, yeah, probably like 2 days in between work and stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty much the main thing right there. So I guess next what I want to do is probably put this back up with the new brake light. So this one works, but the lens is off. And I want to tuck it back in there. It's kind of held up by zip ties. I'll just mount it back up and screw it in to where it doesn't hang down. So let's go ahead and do that. Take this off. It's already missing that side of the bolt, but let me take the zip tie off. All this is hanging out. It should be tucked in through here. In. There we go. And it's held in by a couple Phillip heads. There's the brake light, no lens. Check out the new one. There's the new one. Let's go ahead and pop this through. Alright, let's just see if it works. Oh. I mean, we got it going now. Damn! Had it clean, huh? Yeah, way better. Alright, we're looking good. Got to put a few bolts in. And we're solid. Now that we've got the rear brake light on, we have focused on doing the front headlights. Just get the lights done. But on this side, the bracket is toast. Bracket here. This is actually the key. Dude didn't have a key on it, so he just put a switch on there. I'm gonna take that off eventually. But yeah, the bracket's right here. Let me just unbolt that. I do have the new bracket. So that's what's missing. This is an aftermarket part. This is from Coltric. Usually Coltric parts do fit. without a problem, but I have had some small things that haven't fit. But Coltrick, I do like Coltrick. Okay. Very solid. You can see that. To really secure that, but it's got headlights though. It's just not fitting the greatest. But when I get new bolts, that'd be better. See if I can get this key in. Let's see what I can do with the key. Fish this switch up here. Somehow. Gas tank's not even bolted up. This is what I'm gonna do. So this is the key slash switch that the guy put on. And these are the wires for the key, but there's no plug for it. And I actually have a spare. Wiring harness for a 700. So what I'm gonna do is, so I'll cut that plug off the wire harness that I have. I'm gonna splice it back into this so we can put the regular key on without having to splice the switches. So it'll pretty much be like OEM, you know? So we'll see how that happens, see how it works. It's also kind of spliced here. I'm just gonna put tape there so they don't touch. And we'll splice them together, tape it all up, run it up to the top with the mount and see how it runs. Or see if it even turns over with the key. So I've got the connector on, spliced in. I should plug in the key, but just to see if neutral comes on, I'm just gonna run the plastics through here. And plug this in. See if neutral light comes on. So here is the switch. Hooks in. Here's the key. Alright, see if we get anything. Oh yeah, we got neutral. See right there? Got neutral right there. So that works. Alright. Now I can put all this back together. Get this top piece on. This goes on by a notch in there. So tighten it up in a bit. Push it down in there. It's not touching. the other should push on. Bingo. So you got the plate that goes in the back of here, and you pretty much just put it back on. So you want to save this piece here that's broke, put it to the side. You want to take these screws out. These 3 screws are going to be shorter than the ones that I came with, and you want to replace them with these longer ones because this plate is going to be sitting on top of this. So you need more longer screws to reach the body of the switch.
Make sure you screw them down evenly. And make it flat with the surface of the original one. Super sturdy. So you can use the old ones. You can use the old both, but it's got new ones. So I'm not going to use them.
Alright, see that? Super sturdy. No issues. Bango. This part was a used part. You can see scratches on it. But really cheap. Still has all the tabs and everything. But cheap for what it is. OEM part too, so. Another OEM Yamaha part. Look how clean that looks. Damn. I was hoping it had the Yamaha logo in the front, but this thing looks clean. we're gonna do the grips, because these are super ugly. No sir. No thank you. Put a little WD-40 on this John. Oh well, that was easy. And it's nice and staying there too. Oh yeah. Look at that, buddy. Really good. One thing is this gets stuck, so you just gotta cut a little bit back, which is no biggie. Yep. None of it's hanging off. So I ended up taking the slicks off those wheels. I got them right here. I put new tires on them. I actually did it manually myself. Didn't get it on camera because it was giving me a hassle trying to put them on with tire spoons and all that jazz. But right now we got the citrus strip on there. I'm getting the black paint off of there because it's all chipped up and all that. So we're gonna wait for that. I still gotta take the black paint off the front wheels. And these tires are already brand new when I got the quad. But I guess since I'm waiting for the citrus strip to do its job, I'm gonna go ahead and do the oil change, and then I'm gonna do the coolant flush too, because that's really all I really need left on this quad. I do gotta fasten up the plastics and headlights too, because I just got my bolt kit in, and so it's a little dark in here. You have the oil filter here. You have a drain plug bolt on the bottom of the external tank, and then you got a bolt on the bottom side of the motor. And then that'll all come out, and then you fill it up with 2 quarts of wet clutch 10W40 oil, and I believe it's like a 145 for the filter. Yeah, see, look at the oil. Super black. You can just see it coming out of here. Look at that, incredibly black. So, brand new oil definitely is gonna be what it needs right now. Don't see enough chunks or anything, but I'm assuming the oil is pretty low because it's not coming out that quick. Yeah. Super black, dude. Almost like diesel oil. So that's gonna need it. Jesus. Look at that. No metal in it though. No shaving so far. Just making a mess. Yeah, it actually looks really good. The oil is just super dark. No metal shavings whatsoever. So that is so bad. Huh. I knew that filter was forgetting something. It's got the O-rings. It's got the gasket here. New filter, 145. High flow filtro. Pretty good stuff. Always use this. Now we can add the oil. So 1 quart in the case and 1 quart in the external tank. That's usually what I do.
Alright, no leaks.
Wow. It is still dark. It's full though. It's got new oil. Look how dark it still is. You kidding me? That's alright, I'll keep that in there. I'll run it for a little bit. And then we'll do the oil change again later on sometime. But the oil level's good. My cap is right here. It's not even that hot, so. You can already see it a little bit. Kind of this orangey, rusty looking brown, which we want to get rid of. So what I'm gonna do is crack the bleeder. I'm gonna crack this one down here so we can get that all out. It comes. Okay. So I flushed it like 3 times, drained it, refilled it, started it, and then, so I did that 3 times. So this one should be pretty cleared up. I already cracked it and it looked pretty clear, but we will see. So you can see that there, it is pretty clear, a lot more clear than that orange. So it's gonna be the last flush I'm gonna do, because I am all out of the gallon of distilled water, so it kind of worked out. So, after this, we'll fill it up with coolant, and then we'll crack the bleeder on this top screw up here. I'll show you that here in a second. We've got the bleeder here. It's gonna be a washer on it, and you can't really get nothing in there. besides a wrench. Okay, fucking cracked it. So should bubble. Yeah, that was a lot, but go ahead and put some more in there. So what I also noticed is this thing was kind of running weird. I mean, it run okay, but it had like a little bog. And I noticed that I had a programmable ECU where it has like the notches, the dial in there, and this was actually stuck underneath it, kind of like sub all the way underneath. But you see all the different positions, stock map for beginning riders, and also when you turn the key, see how it's like faded. The rest of it doesn't like go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it doesn't do that. So I have the stock ECU, which I like stock ECUs better than aftermarket. I don't really like these programmable aftermarket ones. And this is a stock bike, so I don't know why he even put that on there. Maybe it was just a cheaper option than getting the OEM one. But I'm gonna take this off. We're gonna put that one on, and I can tell you or show you how it starts. You can kind of hear that. Like the idle's kind of sporadic. But I'm gonna put the stock ECU in and see if it makes any difference. I'm still bleeding the system too, putting coolant in there, but watch it now. See how it does that? And it lights up. It isn't, like, it's not dim, it's super bright. So that's a better sign already. So let's see how it starts. And also it wasn't giving me the low gas light. So this thing, I don't know about this thing. I'll probably keep it just because maybe if I just need one, spare one, if one just magically goes out and I'm like on a trail or something, I can just get this, or you put this in and, you know, drive home. But I'm keeping this one in. It sounds way better, revs out better. There's no bog right off the throttle. If you want to blip it, it would like bog, and it would run right. So I'm guessing the tune on this is kind of a little bit off than stock. So I'm putting that in, throwing this out. I used scissor strip on the rear wheels already. So you can see they cleaned up pretty good. It's been like a week, so it rained and got the wheels dirty, but they're not like spray painted black. They're back to chrome. And I got the fronts pretty much, you know, sitting there, letting the citrus strip do its work. But I got it covered up so the wind's not letting it dry. That's the best thing to do, is kind of cake it on there and then don't let it dry, because it's not gonna, you know, eat into the paint. So what I am doing now though is I got kind of the slip on off of exhaust, because this was all loose, and I already drilled out the rivets, but I got this rivet kit from Amazon. It's right there. Came with a gun and rivets. But I already got the 4 drilled out, so 2 on top, 2 on the bottom. Got those drilled out. The kit came with drill bits. You just gotta have a drill. So they're all drilled out. Here are the rivets. This is the biggest size I have which I'm sure it'll work. But we're gonna see what this can do. Hopefully this will tighten us all up, because this was super loose before. But there is that hole there, and should be good after I got these rivets in, and then I should be able to bolt it right back up. So we'll see how this works. Let's see. Oh yeah, we're good. Let's get this one in. Make sure it's flush. Boom, it's already looking good. Let's get the two bottom ones in. There's three. Okay. So boom, all four rivets are in. Nice and sturdy. This thing rattled like crazy when the four-wheeler was on. So I'm gonna button this all back up. Then we're gonna start and see if we have any rattling. Nope, no rattling towards the rear end. It's all nice and sturdy, new rivets, so it's a done deal there. All right, well, this caliper is not gonna work. The piston is pretty much like grinded down, slanted, and it's not mounting this right. It's pretty much hitting the rotor, and it's not working. So I can't even get the bolt on. It won't go down anymore, just because that slant and that piston there. We almost had it, but it's just not gonna work. So I ended up jacking this for a brake caliper off my other 700 that I have not gotten to yet. And I guess for the time being, I'll just buy a new one for that one. So this one has pretty decent pads on it still. I'm gonna save the new ones I put on the old one, and pretty much trash this one, and then wait till I get to the other quad, or wait till I get to the other quad to buy a new one. So let's go ahead and slap this other one on. I still gotta clear the lines out because it's not pumping through the brake fluid line. So let's go ahead and do that real quick, and then we'll move on. We'll hook all the park and brake back up because I don't have a block off plate. Oh, actually, this one has a block off plate, so I probably will just delete it all together. I'll pull this all the way through and I'll clean it up. So. Yeah, just like so. Piece of junk right here. Finally got the same master cylinder that I got this caliper from, because the other one was not sending fluid out at all, and this one was actually working, this whole system. So I'm just gonna straight up swap both of these and see if this even works. So I put my blood, you see, No brakes. Brakes. Yeah. So that's all good. Now I can move on from the brakes. I'm tired of the brakes. So I'll top off the brake fluid. You see this ugly chain on there? It's pink. It does not go well with the blue quad. I actually got a black one, or no, regular metal color. The sprockets look good. They're not pointy or curved or missing a tooth or anything like that, but it's just ugly. It's already starting to bind up a little bit. So, and it's like super hard. You can't really get it to unbind. So we're gonna replace that ugly chain, and also replace the roller, because there's no roller in there, and it helps tighten up the chain, and it helps it not rub against the frame. So let's go ahead and find the master link. It is right there. So we're just gonna knock it down. So just like that, comes off. We can take this off. This one here. Boom. That's off. Okay, we're ready to rock and roll. Size right out. Here, supposed to be a roller there, and there ain't nothing there. So I believe that's like a 12 millimeter. It's the fun part. Just feed it on through. Okay. Now slightly short. Loose more. Okay. Going like this. Oh, it's not always that easy. You need to loosen up that roll. See there, it's rolling it, but not super easy. So with it being like that, it's gonna chew it up and wear that rubber out. There we go. I got a new coolant reservoir. Not even sure if this one was leaking, but it's got JB weld all over it. Who knows what it looks like underneath it. It probably is cracked and leaking. Zip tied here. Comes with new lines, a new cap. Wish this one doesn't even have a cap. So let's just get that one off. It was completely empty, so I'm sure that it was probably cracked.